and welcome to a Pocket Talk Through. I'm joined by Goose.
Hi there.
And we cannot continue until we discuss this.
No, I think we should just move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you are the boss. Today's talk through topic came in from several people. We've got Sean Pincombe, we've got Cade514, but we first saw it from Cranky Man.
Right.
And I think we know why Cranky Man is so cranky. It's probably too late to ask this, starts Cranky Man. Turns out it wasn't. Our Pocket going to talk about Bethesda's latest embargo shenanigans, as covered on Polygon today. Seems like something Nick and Goose could discuss at length.
Well, it's not too late. I was busy, but I'll get involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Wait, I haven't even said what it is.
Well, go on.
The latest shenanigans. So, for those of you who don't know, Bethesda put out a statement today that reads, reviews. We read them, we watch them, we try to learn from them when they offer critique, and we understand their value to our players. Earlier this year, we released Doom. We sent review copies to arrive the day before launch, which led to speculation about the quality of the game. Since then, Doom has emerged as a critical and commercial hit, and is now one of the highest rated shooters of the past few years. With the upcoming launches of Skyrim Special Edition and Dishonored 2, we will continue our policy of sending media review copies one day before release. While we will continue to work with media, streamers, and YouTubers to support their coverage, both before and after release, we want everyone, including those in the media, to experience our games at the same time. So, they are not going to be sending out copies of the game earlier than one day before it comes out to any press outlet for a review.
Because they want us all to experience it the same way.
Which is,
Which just starting at the back of that doesn't make sense because we need to experience it in a different way, which is for review and critique.
Yeah.
To write or produce some sort of media about it, which is different to sitting down on a weekend and playing a game and just enjoying it.
It's such a weird sort of, it's all just trying to hide what they're trying to do, which I feel like basically they're just going, we don't think reviews are important anymore, and we don't like the idea of reviews affecting our sales, which, Bethesda's been getting pretty good reviews for almost everything they're
It's
putting out
strange
anyway.
too, isn't it? Because they produce pretty quality games in the past that have been getting, good to decent reviews, and then they sell well as well. So in this case, they've come out with the stat about Doom, and they've almost used it as a bit of a sort of
It's like a smokescreen.
It is, isn't it? And it just feels like it's unnerving because it's like they've gone, oh, we had this one game that was great, because often, obviously, if some people don't know, some games you don't get right up until the date of release can often be because they're not a great game.
Yeah, we see this a bunch, but recently 2K have started doing this. The last couple of games, like Mafia, they put out, and Mafia had a great first hour and a half, and then it kind of just fell off and became a pretty bog standard game.
They don't have to be a bad game. It just might be they're a little unsure about it, or they're not as confident in that release. So, if they hold that review copy right up until the day that you can go and buy it in the shop, you might just go, I'm just going to go get it anyway, and, you might not cancel a pre-order.
Yeah.
With Bethesda in particular, I just think it's weird for them to be jumping into this whole sort of mess.
Yeah.
It is a mess.
Yeah, it's very strange, and I think that they're basically, what they're saying with the Doom thing is they're going, well, people were speculating about the quality of the game before it came out because we didn't hand out review codes, but Doom turned out to be great. But then the way they've worded it, it's kind of like, so because of that, we're going to continue this, as though not handing out the game beforehand allowed Doom to become the excellent
great game.
Yeah.
The day before thing as well, I find really strange because it's just kind of like a way to placate media outlets.
Just
to be
enough.
Like, oh yeah, you'll get it a day before. Which, in the same time, there are like day before releases with all this pre-order shenanigans as well.
The week that Battlefield came out, the This Week in Games episode we did, I rattled off 4 separate release dates, depending on what version of the game you bought. You could play it at any time over the course of 4 days. And Bethesda are doing it with Dishonored 2 as well. You get 1 day early if you pre-order the game. So you get the review code if you pre-order the game.
Exactly, and that's either going to force reviewers to try and sort of wedge a review into that one day, to try and sort of smash through a whole game and write some piece of media for people to read, which is never going to be as genuine as if you actually got a proper, I guess, sort of a week has always been kind of what, we often in the past have had a few weeks or
yeah,
so.
Well, for Fallout, I remember getting our copy of Fallout, I think it was 5 or 6 days before the game actually came out, and that's a great amount of time, because even though you may not have finished the game, you've played so much of it that you go, okay, you can at least start forming your opinions. You get it, the Fallout a day before, there's no way you can make a review.
And what we've been seeing a lot more of recently is, big review outlets giving their reviews time to breathe. So it's almost like, they'll have a review in progress posted.
Yeah, right.
We've been trying to do a few more sort of like, look, it's a hands-on, it's a first play. We'll come back and talk about a game that we've played for a little longer if, our minds have changed. And I think this isn't doing anything to help that, because that was a healthy relationship where reviewers were saying, we'll be a little more generous with our time. We might come back and talk about the game. And now they're saying, no, it's one day. You've got it just before it comes out. And basically they're snubbing the media outlets.
Yeah, and I do think it's really hard because a lot of these sites are going to suffer from that because they go there. And I know that people might be saying, oh, it sucks that you don't get your copy of the game early, but these sites are actually, when we're doing reviews, and like us, like it's not just these websites, Good Game reviews games, that we're doing it so that which games are worthy of your attention, based on our opinions. And so to not have that, I feel like is something that does impact the industry, because it would be easier to accept this, because Bethesda are allowed to do whatever they want.
Of course.
They're a company, they don't owe us anything, like they're allowed to do whatever they want. But it would be easier to take them seriously if they didn't do what they're doing now, which is they're not sending out copies of, say, Skyrim, like they mentioned, to us or to any review site, but they have already sent copies of Skyrim to streamers and YouTubers to play the first hour or so to show people what they think.
Like a hands-on experience or something, which sure is a slightly more natural way to observe a new game out there, but at the same time, it's less critical. And you have these YouTubers who are there to entertain.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get the most out of the game, and you're getting a bit of a skewed message there, because the thing you're seeing is someone trying to ramp up the product because they're enjoying it. And nothing against YouTubers out there. It's their job for many of them as well, and so they appreciate getting this code early or a chance to show off the game. But it is a very different beast to seeing a review for a game.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I don't like the way they're trying to say it's sort of the same thing, or it's like, oh, we're giving it to them now because that's the new media outlet. That's how people find out about games.
Well, they didn't even say that. They've just done that. They don't even reference that in the statement that's their plan. It's just
they can do what they want. We said that before, but I mean, come on.
But as someone who does first plays and streams and let's plays and all that sort of thing, I think that they're so valuable. Like I love that as part of what the industry and the media landscape is at the moment. But they are inherently just different from a review, because a review is looking at something holistically. Like you said, it's looking at it critically, and it's comparing it to other things. It is going, okay, you both exist in like a vacuum, but then also how do you stack up against the others in this field? And just, I know that at the end of our like first plays and that sort of thing, I try to give a wrap up of what I played and my opinion of it and my critique of it.
Yeah, which is quite unique as well. Like, you don't often see that. The thing about a streamer or a YouTuber is they're thinking on the fly, and they're often just, as I said, making it entertaining, and when it's over, it's over. You have to go back and watch it to find out their thoughts. So, I mean, you even kind of smush on a bit of a review on the end.
Yeah, except that's still not a review, because I still haven't had the full experience, and I haven't had time to also marinate my thoughts, because that's the big thing is that a lot of these, like Let's Plays and streamers and stuff, we're giving first impressions on the fly. And so it's harder to actually like think critically about something when you're making it up as you go along. So I think that there's something lost in the critical analysis, which I think is really important for not only letting people know what they should know about a video game, but also I think they're really important for developers, because you're getting people who are trained to look at video games and understand video games, and they are giving their critique that then you can go, okay, these are things maybe I need to work on.
The other thing that concerns me is the age of the relationship between publishers and these YouTubers or these streamers. That relationship is still developing, and I don't think it's at a healthy level yet, where it is, you've got these YouTubers out there who are grateful to get content to fill their channel with, and so already you're seeing a little bias there, because they're just happy to get copies of the game, and they're being genuine, but compared to the age-old tradition of giving it to a reviewer who then critically sits down, and there's always been a bit of it, there can be animosity there in terms of if they didn't like the review for it and all that sort of stuff, whereas I'm worried about how they're trying to get ahead of this relationship with streamers now.
Well, in the same way that, and not to put a blanket thing on all streamers or Let's Plays, because I am one of you. So I'm one of these people. But I think there's something to be said for the way that Bethesda are cherry picking people to go, you get a copy of the game, you get a copy of the game.
That's been a concern at the start.
Yeah, so then the people who get it, it's like there is a pressure, like even if it's unsaid, of going, I am someone who was chosen to show this game. If I show this game in a good light, then perhaps Bethesda will continue to choose me to show their games in the future, and I will continue to get hits, rather than all press gets it. So then it's just it is the assumption that you will continue to get it, so you can be actually critical. And I'm not saying that the people who have Skyrim now are not being critical of it, but I think that
we're not saying
waiting.
we're not saying one is better than the other.
You're just wading into like this weird territory where they're kind of controlling the voices that they're going to allow to speak about their video game, and I think that that's very anti-consumer. And the weird thing is that this statement, they're talking about our game emerged as a critical and commercial hit. We understand the value of reviews to our players. We want everyone, including the media, to experience our games at the same time. This is all worded like it's pro-consumer, but it's very anti-consumer. It's very give me your money in a pre-order now, and then like it's. I think it's trying to empower people to go, you make up your own mind. You don't let someone else tell you what they think about a video game.
Yeah.
You decide whether or not you like it. And you absolutely should
by buying it and either loving it or hating it.
Yeah.
But buying it is the first thing that they need to do.
Exactly,
So,
and it's like you totally should do that, but also you don't have unlimited time and money, so you need to make decisions about which games you're going to get, and that's why reviews are important.
Yeah.
And they also lift up just the whole general discourse about video games to be beyond a lot of the stuff that I do, which is just like yelling and screaming while you're playing a game. There are very few outlets that are doing not only just excellent reviews, but reviews that have, or coverage that has critique and analysis, and that if all of this is going to be weighted in a post-launch like era, you're going to be looking back at games and reflecting on them, rather than going, you can go into this game like armed with like a cultural dictionary on how to talk about
I think to add a final point to that is that the structure of how games are reviewed has been established over years and years and years, and it is critical, it is technically unbiased, whereas I'm worried about this push towards the new media and this movement away from something that has spent all this time becoming structured, and is, as you said, it is a sort of a necessity in games for them to stay, you know, for game developers to stay honest, because they've got to make good games that people will like, instead of just making a product that will get pushed faster and faster and being sold through a new wave media like, you know, streaming.
You have never been more appropriately dressed to lament the death of old media than you are right now. All right, what do you guys think about Bethesda's decision? Do you think it's good for the consumer? Do you think it's good for the media? Do you think that this is something that other companies should be jumping on board with, or are you, like us, worried about our significance in the upcoming landscape of having a job? Let us know in the comments below. Until we next talk through things, my Pocketeers, NichBoy out.
Goose out. I feel like it did feel like a little, we were like, hey, we still need jobs. It's not that.
That's why I kept reiterating I am a streamer and a YouTuber. Yeah. And you are a painter.
They're so comfortable, by the way.
I know. Are you wearing pants? I hope not.